my world literature class, we did an in-depth study of literary elements in order to foster a deeper understanding of what goes into the development of theme, character, and symbol in a novel. My intention was to get students to make the words come off a page by thinking more deeply about the development of characters, themes, and symbols, and consequently to have them create a unique, authentic representation of these elements, thus taking the abstract and creating something concrete from it. For this study, my approach reflected cognitive theory and quite a bit of cognitive constructivism specifically because students used their prior knowledge of the novel and literary elements. According to Woolfolk, this is key to understanding. As well, they restructured their knowledge into a final product. As you will see, students engaged in a range of processes and opportunities to connect to their prior knowledge as they deepened their understandings. As the teacher, my role was to guide and challenge their thinking, and theirs was to think, explain, interpret, and question. Our text for this study was The Great Gatsby. Students tapped into their prior knowledge about the story, the movie, and the time period of the Roaring Twenties, as well as their understanding of the literary elements, theme, characterization, and symbols. Because my students fit into Piaget's formal operational stage, they are ready to, and I quote, use symbols related to abstract concepts. They can think about multiple variables in systematic ways, can formulate hypotheses, and think about abstract relationships and concepts. To become more comfortable with the elements and to see them more clearly, we did guided practice activities in order to delve deeply into the text, building upon their prior knowledge. For example, we frequently worked with close readings and annotations of the text, choosing short passages rich with details, and investigated the manner in which theme, characters, and symbols were developed. Students then built upon this study through our hands-on culminating project, which again reflects cognitive theory in that the students provided evidence of their understanding through their creation of various representational models that were relevant and meaningful to them. With my guidance, students brainstormed various ways that they could represent the literary elements by taking them off of the pages of the novel and bringing them to life in their projects. The students went beyond my expectations, which was exciting to see. They drew, painted, created three-dimensional representations. They even wrote original poems and songs. Some students made movies and others did podcast interviews with the characters from the story. One student gave a motivational speech about the virtues of pursuing dreams in appropriate and legal ways, unlike Gatsby. The project was threefold, and students were assessed through the product and presentation, both of which had to connect their representations accurately to the literary element in a creative way, as well as a reflection paper in which they were required to address how their understandings were deepened, as well as what real-world applications a project such as this might have. By changing my teaching strategy to a more cognitive approach, I guided students in choosing their products rather than prescribing the same end product for everyone. And this made a great difference, not only in the evident understanding of the students, but also in their level of enthusiasm. According to Bhattacharya and Hahn, constructionists believe that knowledge is constructed and learning occurs when children create products or artifacts. They assert that learners are more likely to be engaged in learning when these artifacts are personally relevant and meaningful, and that hands-on experiences help children learn. In the end, the students were able to adapt their ideas about text and abstract concepts by physically creating their own unique representations, and thus illustrated to me, and even acknowledged themselves, that they had deepened their understanding of the literary elements through this cognitive approach.